Hi guys! So this video we're going to be working with meditation to balance out the Vata dosha. So let's talk a bit about Vata in terms of meditation. So the Vata dosha is composed of the air and space element. And what that means is that for most people who have imbalanced Vata, experiences like anxiety, overwhelm, scattered thoughts, distractedness, attention problems, these kinds of things are really common because the movement of the pranas in a Vata imbalanced body is constant and erratic. Erratic is actually the word I use most often to describe Vata. The energy of a Vata imbalanced person is often erratic. One of the things that meditation does is it coalesces our thoughts, it coalesces our emotions, it coalesces our energy. The way that it does this is by giving us a fixation point that isn't the thought or the emotion. And so in this way, meditation is fundamentally supportive of Vata and of this constant, distracted, and erratic behavior. And that being said, meditation often encourages and cultivates the subtler dynamics and aspects of consciousness, in part because it directs our attention to presence. And so in this way, a lot of times when someone with high Vata goes to practice meditation, their experience is such that they may feel overwhelmed by the possibility of being still and quiet. They may find it really difficult to focus. And as they practice, if there isn't a grounding element, if the other elements aren't present, the air and space element dynamic of meditation can actually exacerbate a lot of experiences of high Vata. I often hear from my high Vata students, if we're doing a practice that's a little too on the subtler side in meditation, that they just felt distracted, that they felt out of body, this kind of thing. Now, as we've been working with Ayurveda, what I've been trying to fixate on and show you is that the balancing of the doshas is not just a black and white matter. It's not just a dualistic experience. It's really about drawing up the energies that are low while simultaneously cultivating the positive dynamic of the dosha. So just because we're imbalanced in one way doesn't mean that that gravitation toward that dosha doesn't have its positive dynamics. So what we're going to work with in this video, in this meditation sequence, is creating an environment where the elements that are missing, in this case being earth, water, and fire, are present again, and also highlighting the positive qualities of Vata. Now, as I said, Vata tends to be erratic and distracted. One of the things that Vata also tends to be is very drawn toward joy and excitement and creativity and brilliance. Okay? So as we work with this, we'll get to experience those positive dynamics while grounding ourselves in the elements that are missing. So as I said, there's three elements missing for Vata: earth, water, and fire. Now the earth element, in my experience, one of the easiest ways to ground Vata is the way in which we set up the meditation seat. Okay? The kind of meditation that we work with and incorporating the senses. So in terms of the meditation seat with Vata, you want to be really, really grounded. Something that I've learned with Vata, and I myself am high Vata, is to have a really, really solid seat. You could sit on a bed, really, really sturdy cushions. You could have blankets over the body or a pillow in your lap, something to really ground you. You may feel even more stable against a wall, so that more and more of the body is connected to something. Okay? The more the body is connected, the less of the subtle will distract. Okay? Another dynamic is what meditations we do. So for example, In this practice, I'm going to teach you a couple meditations, and we're going to do them a little differently than we usually do. We're going to take a Ganesh meditation that we usually use a mantra for, but instead we're just going to focus on the energy of Ganesh. We're going to do 2 mantra practices, but we're going to incorporate other dynamics with the mantra. The mantra itself is based in sound, and the sound experience is based in the space element. So too much mantra without combining it with some other dynamic can actually really leave Vata very spacey, essentially. So cultivating an environment when we're chanting where we're focused on something whilst bringing in this energy. And then the natural world, the elements themselves, are a way of connecting the doshas to what they're missing. And something I find with Vata that's really supportive, I found that I do this all the time, is to connect some sort of smell to your meditation practice. Our sense of smell is tied to the earth element. All of our senses are tied to different elements in Ayurveda. And the nose, our sense of smell, is tied to the earth element. The earth element is the strongest thing to ground Vata. So something I often recommend when you're meditating in your high Vata is light some incense, light some oil, go out in nature and actually be in the smells of nature, of earth, of the flowers and the water and so on and so forth, because this will bring you back into the embodiment. And that's another way of thinking about meditation in terms of Vata. You want to focus on meditations that bring you more into the body as opposed to the subtler realms. That's not to say to distract from it, because maybe there's subtler realm meditations or what you're working on, but have a really concrete way of grounding yourself in the body when you do them. Another way, this is going to seem very, very silly, but it's simple. Something I found is, as a Vata, is that if you practice meditation right after you eat, you'll probably have a better chance of staying present for it, for the very simple reason that the body is currently active and engaged in an embodied experience. So the first meditation we're going to do is to Ganesha, and we're going to work with just an energetic dynamic with the practice and leave the mantra out for now. The second practice we're going to do is a Durga practice specific to Chandi. In that case, we're just going to work with the mantra. In a later video, though, in a later meditation for the Sri Vidya videos, we're going to work with the mantra in terms of a nyasa. I'm going to introduce you to nyasa in the third practice today. We're going to do the Panchadasi nyasa, where we move the Panchadasi mantra through the body, and I'll give you an idea more about what it is to embody mantra and really stabilize Vata even when there's a high frequency of the space element present. Okay? So let's start by setting up our seat. As you can see, I'm seated on a couch. I'll sit like this a lot. If you find that you're just really distracted, really in space, not necessarily exhausted, because a lot of times when we sit too comfortably in meditation when we're tired, we just completely check out. But rather, if you're just finding that there's so much going on and you need to ground, sitting on something this stable and supportive is very helpful. I have pillows behind me. A common experience with high Vata people too is back issues, a lot of joint problems and so on. So having a lot of back support can be immensely helpful. And let's just take a moment to close the eyes. For Vata, it's really important, I can't stress this enough. Vata and Pitta have similar experiences of always doing. Okay, but they're a little different. With Vata, the always doing is erratic, which inevitably means that they don't get a lot done. They're always doing something but not completing much. With Pitta, what it means is that we're always have an agenda and are completing tasks, but there's never any ease. So with Vata, what we need to do is we need to give structure around our meditation practice. Something else I'm going to talk to you about not incorporating too much at once. Okay? The simpler the better for Vata. because it makes it an achievable goal. And then we can work with creativity in that simplicity, because that's always the urge with Vata. The reason things don't get done is because they're idealists. They have an idea, they roll with it, it turns into a whole world of other things, but that whole world can't often be accomplished. So start simple and make a really concrete point, if you are feeling high Vata or if you are Vata, to take at least 5 minutes before your meditation practice to still yourself. Okay? So I'm going to guide you through doing that now, and it may feel like a lot. 5 minutes may feel like a whole world of time, especially for Vata. But we're going to really, really ground ourselves and give ourselves that space to be embodied before moving into the meditation. So let's close the eyes. Feel the support that you have. It's just that simple. Switch your attention from what's going on in the mind to what's going on in the body. And feel the shift that happens. This is a really profound shift for high Vata experience. Feel the shift that happens when the orientation moves from the thought to the body. And when you feel the mind coming in again, don't get too frustrated by it. It happens. I can't say that the thoughts ever end, because as long as we're embodied, we're taking in sensory input, and the mind will be at work. What does change, though, is what we do with the thought, our relationship to it, and the length of time between thoughts. So don't spend too much time having a discourse about the fact that you got distracted, but rather when you feel the distraction happen, just allow yourself to come back to the body. Come back to feeling the weight, the sheer presence of this form. Come back to feeling the weight of the bones and the flesh. Become aware of your breath. thoughts remain, just tell yourself that you're going to let them go for this time. Now we're going to start our practices to balance out Vata meditation with a Ganesh practice. Now this practice, this first one, is called the Golden Orb practice. It's a practice that's done a lot when we initiate people in Ganesh sadhana, although Ganesh doesn't require initiation. It's a beautiful way of clearing the central channel of obstruction. However, it incorporates a lot of things. It incorporates visualization, it incorporates sensory input, and it incorporates mantra. And as I said, the simpler the better for Vata. If you have a really complex meditation, the best way for Vata to handle it is to learn it in stages or in parts. Okay? So we can feel an embodiment in each section before moving on to the next. So I'm going to just take the first part of this, of visualizing Ganesha, and incorporating the sensory input. We're going to leave the mantra. Now, if you want to add the mantra yourself, you can. In our previous Ganesh videos, we've already learned 2 Ganesh mantras, the Vedic one, which is Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha, and the Shividya mantra, which came up recently. Om Shrim Hrim Kling Glam Gam Ganapataye Bharavarada Sarvajaname Vashvanaya Swaha, that one. So if you want to do this with the mantra, you can. But we're going to do it a little differently today for the Vata video. So when we come into this meditation, I'm going to have you visualize Ganesha. Okay? And there's going to be a golden orb that moves from him through you. Okay? I'll give you the option at some point to keep visualizing him or let that go if it's too much. And you'll understand what I mean when I say Vata gets overwhelmed. If you're too busy trying to figure out all the details and the particulars, we're losing the essence, and that's what you want to stay with, okay? Every time the orb comes down through your central channel, it's taking away everything you're ready to let go of, and you can set that intention however you like, okay? So let's close our eyes. And I want you to visualize above you Ganesha. We've seen many visuals, we've had many videos, I think 3 or 4 now for Ganesha. So imagine any visual of him that resonates with you. And just connect to it. Connect to his energy of gravity. Ganesha is the gravitational force. He is what embodies us. He is what keeps us on this plane. See the big ears, the elephant nose. Just connect to that grounded aspect. And now you can keep that visual up from there if you like. Okay? Or you can imagine that Ganesha above your head transforms into a golden orb of light. Golden or bright orange. And this orb of light descends into the crown of your head. And it begins to move down your central channel, taking with it all the obstructions you're ready to let go of. And as it hits the base of your spine, it hits the ground and takes everything back into the earth, to be recycled, to be reused, to be done with. And just keep visualizing this golden orb moving through the central channel, the subtle body, and hitting the ground, taking with it whatever you're ready to let go of. Let's do it a few more times. If you're still visualizing Ganesha, you can imagine it leaves his body, if he is not just the golden orb. That golden orb descends through the body and hits the ground. And you just keep it moving. Repetitive is important for Vata. Keep visualizing the same thing through your body, so it's not just subtle, you feel it move, and it takes with it all the obstructions. For working with Vata, all the distractions, all the erratic behavior, all the doubt and confusion and uncertainty, just keeps moving it through over and over again. You can also imagine that this golden light is soothing the nervous system. Don't get too caught up in the details of that. This is one of the triggers to Vata in meditation, is that the Vata mind is so creative and can go in so many different directions that it'll start to visualize different things. Just feel what's here and just know that along with taking the obstructions, this golden light is soothing a frazzled nervous system. Let's have the light move through you 5 more times. And now see that golden orb of light over your head again. Perhaps it's inside Ganesha. And now feel either the golden orb or Ganesha descend down into your heart center. And now his energy rests in the heart center, which all of our pranas, all of our vayus connect to. Okay? So because of this, all of our frazzled energy, all of our disoriented energy, in order for it to move out through our body, it first has to connect to the energy of Ganesha. It first has to connect to groundedness. So this further stabilizes the Vata experience. Simple enough first practice. Now usually we do that with mantra, and every syllable of the mantra we imagine the light coming down, but for a lot of us that can be a lot to manage. So just starting there is enough, just having that intention. And you can do that practice anytime you start meditation. It can be a great way to really ground yourself and to really establish this rooted energy before moving into the subtler realms that could cause agitation with Vata. Now the next 2 meditations incorporate mantra, and the first is going to incorporate a Chandi mantra that's used for the Chandi Nyasa. We're going to learn the Chandi Nyasa further down in the course. It's one of my more favorite Nyasas. For now, we're just going to work with the mantra, and what I'm going to work with you guys on is using your hands to count mantra. So we always use mala beads, and I don't dissuade you from continuing to use them, please do. But sometimes you don't have your mala with you, and that could often mean, how am I going to keep track, how am I going to keep count? Your fingers. This can't possibly be a coincidence to me. So these fingers, these 4, okay, each have 3 sections where the knuckles break, okay? So 3 times 4 is 12. 3 sections on each finger times 4 is 12, okay? 12 into 108 is 9. So if you can bring your thumb to each section of your finger and keep track of a 9 count on the other hand, and then switch every time, you can get to 108. Now we're going to do it together, and I'm going to guide you in moving through. Part of why this is helpful for Vata is because it embodies, again, the mantra. We're literally working with the body as we chant and keeping track. It also does something really specific and necessary for high Vata, is that it slows you down. There's no way you're getting through the mala quickly because you'll get distracted and lose count. You have to slow down. You have to be really precise about it. And that really helps to coalesce the energy, because it's so easy when you're dealing with mantra and the space element for Vata to go all over the place. Okay? Then we're going to take our time, and it's really fairly simple. And I'm going to show you as we move. I'm going to tell you where to put your finger and where we're at. Okay? The mantra is on the screen. It's I'm Cream Clean. We've worked with those sounds before. I'm is a mantra of auspiciousness. It's connected to the divine feminine. Cream is a mantra of communication. It's a way of conveying. Clean is a mantra of transformation and transmutation. Okay? So what we're asking for is that the divine feminine communicate to our subtle bodies, to our energetic bodies, to our life force, the quality of transformation and transmutation that is Chamunda or Chandi, Chamunde reaching. Okay? And normally we work with this in a lot of different ways. We're just going to work with chanting a mala of it with this new mala system of your hands. Okay? So you can use this as a learning tool until you get comfortable. So depending on your handedness, it might feel comfortable with either hand doing either job. But let's take our thumb to the first section closest to the palm on the index finger, on the pointer finger. Okay? This is stage 1 of 12. Okay? 1 of 12. We're going to chant the mantra 9 times using this hand to count the 9. The way that I do it is I start with the thumb, and then lift the pinkies until the thumb is all that's left in. Okay? 9 times. Thumb to the first point, 1 of 12. I'm Cream Clean Chamunde Viche. 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 I'm Chamunde Viche. So now we've gotten through 9 recitations, okay? Now you're going to transfer your thumb to the second part of the index finger. So now we're 2 of 12. You're already on the thumb. You're ready to go. I'm Cream Clean Chamunde Viche. 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 I'm Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. I, 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 Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. Now we move to 3 of 12. Jnana Mudra, the thumb and the tip of the index finger. I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 You're a quarter of the way through. Now we bring the thumb to the base of the middle finger. Okay? 4 of 12. 9 times. I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 Now thumb comes to the middle of the middle finger. I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 Now bring your thumb to the tip of the middle finger. I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 Halfway through. Okay? Thumb comes to the ring finger now at the base. Okay? I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 Middle of the ring finger. I, Cream, Clean, Chamunde, Vici. 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 Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. Tip of the ring finger. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. 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 Last finger, thumb to the base of the pinky. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. 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 Middle. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. 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 Last section of the finger, thumb to pinky at the tip. Aim, Hreem, Kleem, Chamundaye Viche. 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 And that's it. 108 just done with your fingers. Now you may feel that shift from the groundedness of Ganesha to a little more energy in the head with the mantra. You may also feel incredibly warm. Chamunda is an energy of Chandi, of Durga, and it's incredibly heating, which is the fire element that we're drawing in to warm Vata, to stabilize Vata, so it's important. However, it can be a little bit intense. So take a few moments to breathe. You can use your hands for any mantra, and you don't have to have them up. I only had them up to show you how it would work and to keep you on track in case you got distracted. Okay? So our next practice is with the energy of Tripura Sundari, Lalita. It's the Panchadasi mantra in a Nyasa form. I love the Panchadasi mantra. There's a wide variety of Panchadasi mantras. We're going to do the basic Shridija Panchadasi mantra that you see a lot in different practices. It's a lot of Bij syllables, a lot of root syllables, and it can be a lot, high voltage of intensity. It really builds on this refined quality of really vibrant, subtle energy that is Vata. The reason I'm teaching the Vata meditation in the form of a Nyasa, and Nyasa means to move energy through the subtle body. The reason I'm teaching it that way is because this particular Nyasa really brings that embodiment of the mantra, really draws that energy into the body instead of just the subtle realm. Okay? So we're going to come into that. Again, the mantra is up on the screen. And the mantra is pronounced Ka-e-ila hrim, ha-saka hala rim, sakala hrim. Okay? Ka-e-ila hrim, ha-saka hala hrim, sakala hrim. And so I'm going to guide you in moving it through the subtle body. The first portion is going to come into the head. Ka-e-ila hrim. The second portion is going to come in to the heart center or torso. Hasaka halahri. The third portion is going to come into the lower chakras, Manipura, Swadhisthana, and Muladhara. Sakalahri. We're going to work on really embodying this energy of Lalita. Lalita is the incarnation of Tripura Sundari that is all about playfulness. She's the playfulness of consciousness of Maya, of this illusion that is before us, this illusion of duality, this illusion of black and white, right and wrong, this illusion that keeps us from merging back with the totality of consciousness. Okay? She's the divine play. So we're going to work with this energy now to embody the positive quality of Vata, that is joy, and this enlightened, subtle energy. Take a few moments just to settle in again. It might be nice to set an intention of being able to really embody the liberated or positive qualities of Vata that are joy and awareness, confidence, skillfulness, steadiness. To be connected to light without being disembodied, without being scattered. Let's bring your hands to your head. Ha, A, E, La, Ring. Into the heart center. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Lower chakras. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Back to the head. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Heart center. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. In the lower chakras. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Let's continue. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ha, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ka, A, E, La, Ring. Ha, Sa, Ka, Ha, La, Ring. Sa, Ka, La, Ring. Ka-e-i-la-ring. Ha-sa-ka-ha-la-ring. Sa-ka-la-ring. One more time. Ka-e-i-la-ring. Ha-sa-ka-ha-la-ring. Sa-ka-la-ring. Now I'm going to recommend that you lie down, especially if you've done these in consecutive order. Lie down in corpse pose and really feel the ground. Feel the simultaneous experience of being in the ground and being very connected to that subtle energy. But notice the difference, especially if you're Vata, if you're in balanced Vata, how you always feel kind of ethereal and out of body. Feel what it is to harness that experience of the subtle while being in the body, while not losing connection to the body. Take 10 deep breaths on the ground, just be and feel, let everything integrate, give it time. There might be a lot of urgency to move on to something else, but give it time. Harness it, embody it. And then slowly start to move hands and feet. Stretch your arms overhead and your legs away. And roll to the right side and hug your knees into your chest. And come up to sit again. So our last practice we did, the Panchadasana Nyasa. You can do it in multiples of 5. That's my recommendation because the Panchadasi has to do it the number 5. I recommend you do it in sequences of 5. So we did it 10 times. Do it as many as you like, but pay attention to your energy. Pay attention that you're not becoming really, really floaty. And so these are some meditations I recommend for balancing Vata while not losing that luster of the positive and liberated qualities of the dosha. You can do any of these meditations alone or together. And I hope that they support you in balancing this air and space element in your bodies. Namaste.